It's day 3. I'm going to do my best to stay consistent and hold myself accountable. However, today I don't have any financial update or any numbers to share. Besides, uh, I'm not entirely sure that that's exactly what I should be sharing. Be that as it may, the story I want to share with you today is a reminder for you and also myself, really. And that is, you don't need to be like anybody else. You just need to be yourself. And I know it's easier said than done. And sometimes if you watch and look back on things, you may say to yourself, man, I thought I was being myself, but I really wasn't. And so I'll tell you my story. No shame here. Um, and doing what I do or what I've done, and the natural progression of things. It's like, well, I should be doing this. I should be telling my story. I should be sharing my journey, and I should also be trying to build an empire uh, that runs itself and become, extremely rich and wealthy, and share it with people. And honestly, I think no matter how honest and transparent and true that is, to share and to do and share and tell, I think a lot of people have kind of gotten they're guarded and shielded from any sort of just natural and authentic aid and assistance and person coming to them from a screen on their laptop, their phone, their TV. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to continue doing what I do. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. And every now and then I'll fill you guys in on the progress. I actually have an update of progress that I want to share. And it is along the lines of validation. And I think that we all need some form of validation to know we're on the right track, especially if you're on your own. So I kind of work alone for the most part. And if you're going to step out and be a business owner or an entrepreneur or a self starter, if you're going to step out from the norm, then odds are you're probably going to be on your own. Now, there are ways to avoid being on your own, and they typically involve mentors, they could involve masterminds, and they can involve this channel here. Because if you're a self starter, if you're motivated, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a small business owner, if you're looking to be, break away from the rat race and the grind and the 9 to 5, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to be here for you. I'm not going to be here for you financially, but maybe I would be, because there are resources out there that I can share with you that you may not know about. It's not coming from me, but I can say, hey, have you looked into this? Have you talked to them? Have you thought about that? And I've been through it. So I can share that. So that could be a possibility. But from the standpoint of, I'm trying to build something on my own, and maybe some people are telling me no, or some people are doubting me, or some people are in my head because they don't want to see me grow and succeed. It's kind of natural. It's like reactionary. It's a reflex, but they may not necessarily mean it. And if you can push through that and overcome that and succeed, then they're going to say, great for you. I knew you could do it. And how can I get a piece of it? So just be aware. But on your own, as you're grinding and working and building and hustling and not necessarily seeing the fruits of your labor, you need some form of validation to say, yeah, you're doing well. You're on the right track. Things are going good. Don't give up. Keep going. And that can take on a lot of different forms. But no matter what, we got to figure out what that is. And sometimes we don't have to figure out what that is, but we have to accept it and not ignore it. And here's my story, because it starts with just one. And this is the just one. And it starts with just one. And I'll put it on the screen so you guys can see it. And it says, hi, Kevin, I want to have a channel. I want to better my finances and normalize life again. There you go. And I just let them know. I said, you're taking the right steps and should be proud of yourself. And I provided them with a link to a video that I created for people just like that, that can get you started on the right path. I'll put that link down below in the description. And this link is actually to a completely separate Patreon, because Patreon's been giving me issues with starting a new Patreon for this particular channel and for this particular group. So I'm trying to work around that, but also not, kneecap myself or limit you guys with the information that I feel as though you deserve and you want. And so for me though, I've made 2 videos. Like, I got another channel. Like I told you guys, I've got 4 channels. I've got the main channel. That's the workhorse. That's a job, grind 9 to 5. It's like, it's not 9 to 5, but literally it's not my most enjoyable. I'm working on trying to make it my most enjoyable, but it is my most profitable. As your business grows, and it may grow and start from something you really love and enjoy, it will quickly become, with success, hopefully, and the money, the profit and the revenue, it will quickly become something you don't enjoy anymore. And so my advice would be, well, try not to let that happen. And if it does, try to figure out how to make it enjoyable again. Because we don't want to leave the grind of, being a W-2 employee to then be the grind, to then join the grind of being our own employee of a job or a business that becomes a job that we don't really love. You see what I'm saying? We should be creating a peaceful environment of happiness and joy and freedom and flexibility. And so I'm working on that. So then the second channel is actually, it's an older channel that my wife and I used to share, but it never really had a purpose. And so what I'm doing with that channel is I'm trying to create a new purpose for it, but it also has an old audience. So it's kind of weird, but it actually works out, because there are some people there that I know would be interested. But if it was brand new from the start, YouTube may not give it any visibility, maybe, because it has no history. But instead now it is giving it visibility, but probably to the people who aren't necessarily most likely to want the content and the information and the knowledge and the value that's shared. It is what it is. The channel is monetized, and I thought it would be a fun little experiment to see if I could change it, see if I could take something from, what it was and completely transform it into something totally different. And then I could also have this in my repertoire for other people who say, I already have a channel. It's already been successful and it's grown, but I want to change it. So I'd have that case study of my own to share. That's number 2. Number 3 is this one that I'm talking to you guys on now, which started from pretty much scratch of just me being 100% honest and transparent on things, but moving towards more so of progression into motivation and inspiration than just like warnings and rants of things that I don't like, because just talking about things you don't like won't actually introduce and present change for positive growth. So there's that. And then the 4th one is my car channel, which is just my getaway, my fun channel. And it's it's a mental break and vacation. And so, yeah, those are the 4 channels. I forgot why I started talking about that. It's okay not to be perfect. I'll be the first to admit it. As I'm getting older, my memory is not quite what it used to be, especially as I'm trying to deliver multiple points on video and be clear and concise and not turn into a YouTuber with a bunch of, but if you wait until the end of the video, I'll tell you this. So I just replayed what I was saying and got back on track to what I wanted to share. Come on. And that was that I made 2 videos on this channel. This other channel, one of my other 4 channels. And this channel, obviously the audience isn't necessarily designed for this type of content, but I do think it's worthwhile, it's important, it's valuable. And again, it's a test and it's an experiment, a case study for myself. And so of these 2 videos, there's very little activity and views and engagement and comments. And that's fine, because I'm not in it for the short term. I'm in it for the long go. I'm in it for the long run. And these videos, maybe they get views, maybe they don't. And if they do, maybe it's years down the road. But I'm not making these videos to earn ad revenue. I am only making these videos to share these truths, to share this information, to help people, and also to attract them and uh, make myself available for them to contact me for the services that I can provide. And that's it. And so I can tell you guys this, from having hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people viewing my videos and none of them being interested in what I could provide, because I didn't present that in the packaging from the outside. I would much prefer the handful of people who are interested because of the way it's packaged and delivered. That's going to be a far more valuable relationship for everybody involved. And the views don't necessarily really matter. So this is purely just a means to an end. This is a vehicle. The ad revenue that you can receive from it is an added bonus, is extra icing on the cake. But to have these two videos so far on a channel where they really don't belong, and then receive a comment from someone who chose to watch this video and then chose to take action by leaving that comment, that is a form of validation that was right there in front of me, right in my face. And if I had ignored it, it's like I said, we need to find ways in which we can validate that our hard work and our efforts are going in the right direction. Okay, but sometimes we don't need to because they've already found us. But we possibly tend to choose to naturally want to overlook them. So I'm making a conscious effort not to do that. I'm sharing that with you. And perhaps maybe if you are on your journey or soon will begin, then you too will be able to identify the validation along the way that gives you that push, that gives you that extra little boost, that jolt of motivation to keep going. The only way you win is if you continue to play. The moment you quit, the moment you stop, the moment you give up, the moment you turn around and go back, there's no chance you can win after that. So I am going to continue to focus on my strengths. I'm going to continue to try to improve on my weaknesses, and they don't include talking heads and selling courses and day in the life of and all this other shit. It really only includes, it's just me talking to you how I would talk to anybody else in real life about the things that are possible and capable of being accomplished and achieved, and not so much just the numbers and how much money I made, because that can come off as pompous and arrogant and it kind of turns people off. I'm hopefully working towards attracting an audience of folks who aren't disturbed by the idea of money and income and revenue and profit and wealth. But we're going to take this one day at a time. This is day 3. I'll see you guys tomorrow on day 4. And I'm actually giggling, laughing as I'm making this video because it reminded me of something that Ed Lawrence said on a video that I watched last night about making videos. And he reads scripts. So for him, it's a little different because he has to try to nail it. But for me, it's just like, I don't need to try to nail it because I'm just having a conversation. But when my text starts acting up and it just changes the whole flow, and I can't do what I wanted to do, which was not have to edit the video for simplicity's sake, it was funny because it was resonating with the exact same frustration that he felt. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you an example of what I mean by that. Let's see if I can get this to. So right here is where I had to make the cut, and I included the comment that I was just trying to pull up on my phone to show you. But here's the cut. Yesterday, I'm going to show it to you guys like this, so I don't have to edit this video. And it literally just starts with just one. Bear with me here. All right, here it is. All right. My phone is choosing to act up. All right. I'm going to edit this video anyway. that's annoying. That was it. And here's what I was talking about with Ed. Ed, he's the creator of Film Booth. This channel actually used to be called Creator Booth, and now it's Ed Lawrence. But he's definitely one of the resources I think that's out there that literally he tells it to you straight. There's no BS, and a lot of what he says there's honesty behind it, and it's definitely helpful in growing a channel, growing a business, and increasing your revenue. So here's Ed.
All the mistakes and the pauses and the stumbles and that bit where you had an existential crisis because you messed up for the 15th time. That's it.
So I have to consider that my existential crisis. First world problems, right?